Hello, everyone, and welcome to a Recipe for
Whoa!
Reality off-season special. We're doing another BrantSteele, but we're doing it a little bit different. We're going to simulate a Survivor season, but instead of pulling pop culture icons or doing any sort of pre-fixed cast, we're deciding the cast live right now on air. We're not actually live streaming, so you will see this after we record it, just in case there's any finagling I need to do with the edit. But we are going to be casting our own season of new era heroes versus villains. So this is everyone from these 5 seasons, season 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, putting a cast together, putting them in a BrantSteele, and seeing who comes out victorious. Zach, are you excited?
I am very excited. This is the only thing that I really know about. Like, not
Right.
not the only thing I know about, but like this is the Survivor that I know.
Right. Yeah.
Because
So we've
it's
been
the
like thinking about off
only.
season. Yeah, like what can we do both do for the off season? I have a few videos that are coming out separately of like rankings of stuff, but we want to make sure Zach is still included. So we're doing this BrantSteele as a way to kind of encompass what the new era has been so far. Because admittedly, I think it's time where they could do
Pretty good.
another all-star season or a returnee season because we have so many great people to pull from these 5 seasons, which felt like such an opportune moment. I mean, there's so many good people to choose from. I don't even know how we're gonna do it, but we are
I
gonna
do.
do it.
We're gonna pick them one at a time.
We are. So here is the cast is open. All the spots are open. We're gonna go one at a time. Zach, since you're like the guest here, you've never casted a Survivor season. I haven't either, but I'm gonna let you have the first pick, and we're gonna have one veto, and it's not gonna be veto as in like they don't belong in the season, but if there's someone, because whoever you want on the season is gonna be on the season, but we have one veto if we think that they don't belong in that category. For example, I'm going to use first boots because I don't think there's going to be a first boot here. But like
Nope.
Abraham, if you draft or like I want Abraham on the heroes tribe, and I said I'm using my one veto, I think he belongs on the villains tribe. Then we can do that, and there's still a way where we can like talk it out if we really need to discuss because there are some people that I think are on the fence, like that they were heroic but had villainous
Yes.
tints, or they were villains but did it with a smile. So it's gonna come when we get that bridge, we'll cross it. But Zach, who's gonna be? We're gonna jump right into it because we've only got an hour, and we're gonna actually simulate the season for y'all. Who is your first nomination? Who are you going to put in this season of returnees? This could be anyone, not just players who played once, but it could be players who played twice and
Dylan.
only one player who's played twice, and winners alike. So who would you like to pick?
Dylan, I've been thinking about it, and he seems like the perfect villain to to start
Mm,
us off. Give
okay.
me Omer.
Omer. I love that pick.
Give
Omer's a
me
here.
Omer
Join the
as our
cast.
villain.
Okay. Any
I think he's a
explanation?
great. I mean, probably some of the best entertainment of that season. We have a great winner of that season, but the winner is really only made by how good some of the villains from that season are. And Omer just like pops to mind immediately. He was the
Mm,
front runner for a little bit. He finally got. So now I want to give him a shot. You know what I mean? I want to
there
give
you
it to
go.
him.
I'm gonna put on like probably the easiest person lock for the women heroes. It's gonna be Carolyn. I think
Yes.
Carolyn. Hold on, let me
Hmm.
type her name in here. Carolyn Weiger. Where is she? There she is. I'm having to squint here. I think she's the easy lock for for the heroes tribe. I think
100%.
she's someone who everyone really got behind. She was part of a Tika 3 that is in itself a heroic alliance. But let's say we want to divvy it up a bit. I think if anyone from the Tika 3 is a must, it's definitely her. So I'm going Carolyn as the first lock for the heroes. Zach, any thoughts on Carolyn? And then move on to your next pick.
Great pick, great first round pick. I'm here for a little bit of redemption for Carolyn as your
Hmm.
vote finalist is not how I
Yes.
like my season 44 people.
Hmm.
Um, let's go hero.
Okay. Male or female?
You know what? I picked Omer. I'm gonna go female.
Okay.
I gotta have her on here. I need Marianne here.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think
First winner
she is
representation. Okay.
I think we need a good winner. Arguably one of the better winners of the new era. I think highly underrated in terms of the fact, or I shouldn't say underrated, but underestimated. People don't see Marianne's game, frankly, too much because they think she's overshadowed. But I think that she's perfectly hidden, and she earns a spot right here on the Hero Tribe.
I love that. I'm going to go villains, and I think to balance out having a winner on the heroes, I'm going to balance it out with a winner on the villains, who I think is already becoming an underrated winner, and that's D. I think
Yes.
obviously on the villains tribe, she kind of has the kind of villain with a heroic tint to it, where like she's a rootable person, kind of like Omer. Like they're not bad people. I don't think any of the villains are going to be bad people, but it fits that she's a villain. She was very devilish and devious. She kind of had all the guys wrapped around her finger, at least Austin, and Austin had Drew. So like she kind of just had all the control with
Yeah.
Julie as well. that Reba Force she really had wrapped around her finger. She kind of dictated the season in a Boston Rob Lake style. So I'm happy to have D on this cast. I think also because you have Marianne on the winner's side. For heroes, I think you need a winner on the villains tribe. And I don't know how many other winners we're going to get on here because I know there's some controversial winners from the 40s. So I don't know how many more
What
winners.
do you mean?
Wanted to make sure there was a winner on each tribe at least. So who's going to be your next pick?
You know what, Dylan? There's not enough season 1. I was gonna go with somebody or season 1. There's not
41.
enough season 41.
Okay.
I was gonna go with someone else from 42 actually, but I think I'll save them for later.
Okay.
But I want to get our first male on the board for the Heroes tribe, and this might be controversial. I don't know if you'll agree. I want Xander on the Heroes tribe.
Okay. I agree he's a hero. Yeah.
I think he's a hero. Listen, I think he's got a lot of great plays in 41. I think people see his edit and his gameplay kind of as a little too safe, which to be fair, agreed. But I think his idle play with what's it called?
Liana, the knowledge is power.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
No, but you can have this fake. That's great. Yeah, Xander would be also, if we're thinking realistically, obviously it's hard because we are not going to necessarily go with the 50% diversity mandate. It might naturally happen just because it's been a very diverse era. But I do think we have to also think realistically of who would get cast. And while Xander, some people find him a little bit bland, a little bit boring, I think you need that kind of just like, not surfer bro, but like kind of young, kind of rootable, kind of almost vanilla, but for a good reason kind of casting. So I think he would definitely make a cast like this. I'm going to go with someone who I think is a lock if there is a returning season in the new era. I think he played a great game. Some may say he's not like the most overt villain, but I definitely think Jesse Lopez is a villain. I think the way he kind of
Yes.
duped over Cody, it's a villainous move. It's an iconic move, and I think everyone kind of left 43 thinking about him. So I think of all the 43 people, I think he's the most likely returnee, and I wanted to have him on this board, especially as a villain. I don't know if you agree with him as a villain, but I definitely think he is.
I'm going to add to the villains.
Okay. Hero, male or female? Sorry. You just say it. I could put it in either one.
Yeah. Male.
Okay.
Give me Ricard.
Yes, I love that.
Ricard, Dylan's winner pick from 41. I think probably from 41, probably one of the most likely returnees. Great gameplay. Only gets really screwed by the fact that they're paired in with Shan, and because of that pairing with Shan, they're seen as too big of a threat. And there's not really anything else for him to do. But how does he do with this tribe?
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to make it a little more complicated. I think we need to see the bad blood there. I know people are kind of tired of her after the challenge, but I'm going to put, where is she? There she is. I'm putting Shan on this tribe, on the villains tribe. I think she is the new era villainess. Despite me putting D first, I kind of want a D there for winner representation, but Shan is the villain of the era in terms of the females that we've seen play in a devious way and owning it, and I think she really did. Now obviously her image was a little bit ruined from the challenge because a lot of people found her annoying on it, but if we're looking at Survivor, and I think they would definitely want, especially if you're having Ricard on the season, I think you need Shan there as well. So
okay, we need some more heroes, don't we?
Yes, we do.
You know, if Ricard has Shan, we need to have Carolyn and Jam Jam.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure which one you were going to go with there. Okay. Because
I don't think the other one belongs on the hero tribe.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, so that's 2 winners now on the hero side. I like Jam Jam. I think that's a great pick. Obviously,
Yeah,
I think he would be a
pick.
hero too. Despite him being a little sneaky, like D, I think D was a little bit more maniacal about it, whereas Jam Jam still did it in a lovable way. And I think going to the end with Carolyn and Carson made him like more endearing as a hero, whereas D kind of cut her allies, or at least kept her allies in the dark at the end. That made her more of a villain. So I like that. I like that a lot. I'm next. I was going to go with a hero as well for the guys, and I think this is a must. I know we already have 2 0 vote finalists there, but I think we need another one. I think we need Jake. I think Jake. Whoa! Jake needs to be on this tribe here. I'm gonna say the heroes for me is deeper, just because I think the villains are very easy to point out. Like they're a villain, they're a villain. The heroes I think is a little deeper because everyone else is kind of under that hero banner. So I wanted to make sure Jake got in before we kind of dwindled this down and there were no spots left because I want to make sure Jake is on this cast.
Where do I go from here is the question. I think we need probably I think we need another female villain.
Okay.
In the female, you know what? No, I can't put her there.
Okay.
I was thinking Liana, but I don't want her there. I
Okay.
don't I don't think game plays that great. Um,
Hey, sometimes Survivor casts
I'm
people almost like
stumped,
in a second
man.
chance way, to like give someone another shot.
Oh, give
Okay.
me Ellie.
As a villain?
Yeah, man. Give
All
me
right, I
Ellie as a
like that.
villain. She needs an
Where is she?
opportunity.
You gotta find her. Is this her? Yeah. So she went up against Gabler. She was Gabler's main adversity. I kind of like that as a very like out of the box villainous pick because I do think the female villains is probably the most shallow. So I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go with. Hmm. I'm gonna I'm going to go with someone who I just personally want to see return. I think she got out of the game way too early, and I think she was a very rootable interest. She's not the biggest character, but I do think Kelly was just such an all around great player, and she was my winner pick, so I want to see her get another shot here. So I'm going to go Kelly for the heroes.
Okay. All right. I'm
No
gonna
vetoes so
go.
far, so we've been pretty on track. And we don't have to
No,
use
I
our
think
veto,
we're
just to say, but
I
it's
think we're
there if we
pretty
need it.
good. Let me see. I need to. Oh no, you know what? I'm gonna go with another male hero.
Okay.
Give me Mike Turner.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I
Give me
agree with that.
Mike.
I like that.
I think Mike probably has one of the better games possible. Um, he just completely fumbles the ball at the end.
Mhm.
Not a great finale for him. But regardless, worthy enough of being a hero.
Cool. I'm gonna stick with the heroes as well. I'm gonna go to the heroes women just because I feel like there's one that I still think is definitely, if she wants to come back, a lock for a returnee. And I think some people would debate her as a villain, but I think the way her season went, I think Emily Flippin is a hero. I think it would be so cool to see her play this game
Oh
on the
yes.
heroes
What?
tribe because of the arc she went on. I think it would be really fun to see her play this game as a villain, become a hero, and then come back and play on the heroes tribe. I think that's a great arc for her. Obviously, she's on the season with Kelly and Jake on her tribe, which we'll see how that goes. Because she, played with them for a little while. But I think Emily belongs on the season for sure.
Where to go? Where to go? Where to go? I guess I let's go to some villains.
Okay.
Hmm. You know what? Jesse's there, so does Cody have to be.
But is he a villain?
I would call him a villain. I would
Oh,
call him I, I would call him a villain in the way that he was very snaky and very good about how he spoke to people. And I think with Jesse there, they're the villainous duo. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I kind of almost want to use my veto here only because I think also with the way it went down at the end, it was very much like the puppy dog was kind of slayed by the owner and it was very sad. Like Cody to me is like a big golden retriever to me. Like he gives off such like
Mm,
fun jovial energy. I'm fine if you want to put him in the villains though just to see how Jesse and Cody play out as a duo though because they did run the game together, but I always felt like Cody was very honest and straight up and like he was the guy he was a clown, he was more fun
yeah.
and heroic. And then I think Jesse had the villainous turn. I think they overall played a heroic game, but Jesse took the devious turn. But then at the beginning, Cody was kind of hyping up the fact that he's a salesman and he's kind of putting on a show a little bit. So I'm fine with putting Cody as a villain. I think some people, I mean, in the first Heroes versus Villains, a lot of people kind of debated certain people's placement. So I'm not going to use
Right.
my veto because I want to keep that hero slot open.
Okay.
So I'll allow you to have
Yeah.
him as a villain. I like that. But if we're going that route, I have to put one person on the villains and round this out because I feel like there's someone I feel like this tribe, you have Omer who's kind of the more like kind of awkwardy, nerdy guy. Jesse who's kind of cool, calm, collected. Ricard who comes on very strong. Cody is kind of the fun, kind of challenge beast. But I feel like there's no one that is just kind of your big bossing, domineering, kind of coach like figure on this cast. So I'm putting Bruce on this cast as a villain.
Wow. Okay.
Because I
Okay.
honestly think
Okay.
there's a lot of
Okay.
room for Bruce to redeem himself as a hero, and I think Bruce is someone who like was very clearly a villain on his second season, and everyone expected him
Mhm.
to play like a hero. So it's kind of like an Emily thing where maybe he can turn it around on this time. But I do think he's kind of the personality they're missing because all of those villains are very sneaky villains, whereas Bruce is just domineering, and I think you kind
Right.
of need that as well on a villain's tribe. So that's going to round out the villains for me, unless you have a veto. But I think that's a solid five villains for the men.
I think that's a solid 5 too. I will tell you, I was gonna put Carson there in the villains
Huh,
tribe,
sorry.
but in that case, I would like to put Carson on the hero tribe.
Oh, you're putting the Tika 3 together. That's interesting. Okay. I forgot
Listen,
that. Yeah.
it can make them either a very big target early game, or it can be a completely new opportunity for them to play this game together.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious. I'm
I
curious.
like your Carson as a villain take. The only thing is, like, I think if we're looking at the Tika 3, they were all just collectively such underdogs that it's really
Yes, that
hard to
they
see
kind of
any
were
of them as
made
villains.
into
And
villains.
honestly, of the 3, I would say Jam Jam's the most villainous of the 3, honestly, in the way he kind of like laughs behind your back type thing. I think Carson's 100% a hero, so I'm glad he's on here. I don't want to round out the heroes women yet, just because there's a lot of names I have for the. You know what? I don't want to lose my shot of getting her on this cast. Give me Cassidy as a hero. She had
Wow,
the
yes.
most. She was my favorite of that season, next to Jesse. Jesse was my favorite gameplay, but Cassidy, just the story of her losing her sister and playing for her sister and playing as an underdog, and Carla kind of being her villain that she had to conquer. We might talk about Carla in a sec, but like Cassidy and Carla's beef, and then Cassidy kind of one upping her, but then not getting the jury votes, losing to Gabler. Like, I think she is someone who deserves a second chance, and I think this would be a fun season for her. So that's your Heroes Tribe. Heroes Tribe's done. So now we can look at the villains for the last 2 women's
Villains.
spots. Do you have any other women for the Villains Tribe?
Man.
I think there's one more big one out there. Maybe. I
Big
don't know.
one.
We have no
Hmm.
pre-mergers. Ellie's like the only like pseudo pre-merger. And I guess Bruce because of the
Yeah.
medevac, but
You know what? Give me Sydney.
that was the lock. Okay. I did like my
Yeah.
mind trick
Give
to
me
get you to get
Sydney.
there.
Give me
Sydney,
Sydney.
I feel like Sydney's gotta be on the Villains Tribe. She gotta be. She's so good.
I agree with you 100%. You know what? You did mind game me, but I liked it. The minute I kind of picked up what you were putting down, there was no reason to not go there.
Um, love that pick. For the last pick for the villains, we have Shin, we have Sydney, we have D. I think Sydney, D, and Shan are the 3 locks. I did have Ellie on my short list. The other one that I think like realistically would get cast, and I think because of how the game ended for her and because of how sneaky she was, I'm gonna put Carla there. I think Carla, especially having
Yes,
Cassidy on the heroes, I think Carla and Cassidy being on opposite tribes. The only thing is
is a perfect idea.
that puts Carla with Jesse and Cody. Is that a little overpowering? Maybe. But that's gonna be your cast, people. Like we kind of flew through that. Did you have any honorable mentions to bring up before we like get right into this or no?
I mean, Leanna was an honorable mention. She almost made the villains tribe. I just didn't
Mm-hmm.
love her gameplay. I thought about maybe Erica on the villains tribe, but I don't
Villains. Okay,
think her
interesting.
edit. I don't think her edit is both either heroic or villainous.
Right.
I think it's sort of determined and decided by the what's it called, the um hourglass.
Yeah.
And I think
Um,
that that really just determines the trajectory of how things go for her.
Yeah, I considered some pre-murders like Zach Wartenberger would have been fun, but like I just don't think he would have made the 10.
He doesn't
Um,
fit. Yeah, he
yeah,
doesn't
and
fit in any
Matthew
of these.
Matthew who hurt his shoulder, but like he was kind
Oh,
of playing a
Matthew
little
too.
sneakily like a villain, but he had such a heroic exit. I Owen, but I feel like Xander and Jake both kind of fit the Owen blanket. You know what I mean? And then the big one that I was shocked didn't make it, but just because there's only 5 spots is Caleb as a hero, because Caleb was the person we thought would play as a villain, and he played absolutely like a hero. But we do have Emily, so I feel like Emily is part of the representation for the Lululemons. And I think of the heroes we have, I mean, all of them make sense. You got Jam Jam and Mike for some age diversity. Carson's your nerd. Xander's your kind of like good-looking young kid, and then Jake's your big character. So like I'm fine with that. I considered Evie for the heroes as well. But again, they're kind of in that gray area as well, like Erica, where I was like, are they hero? Are they villain? I think Noelle would be a good hero. The only thing is, I think we've seen all of Noelle's game. I don't think we would have
Hmm.
seen much more from Noel. And then all I consider for the villains that was left was Josh, who was kind of Jam Jam's big villain, but he was out so early in the season. I think people probably have forgotten about him at this point. I don't think they'd bring him back. And then Deshaun from 41, but I think Ricard was the big male villain of that season. So Zach, I have to ask you, this is a great cast we put together. Who is your winner pick of this cast before we simulate it? And do you think I'll let you pick one for each tribe?
Who do I think is my winner's pick from each tribe?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm feeling good about Cody from the villains.
Mm.
Or not Cody, not Cody, sorry. Jesse.
Mm.
Jesse's gonna be my winner pick. And I think from the heroes, I'm gonna pick. You know what? Two for two, Marianne.
Okay. I think for the villains, the person who would probably have the best time kind of sneaking through this group is probably Omer. I think you're going to have the big Jesse, Carla Cody conglomerate. You're going to have the Ricard Shan conglomerate, and then you're going to have D as a winner. I think Omer can kind of slide through there. For the heroes, I'm going Cassidy, though. I think if Jesse, Carla, and Cody can like kind of take the heat, I think Cassidy could slide through. It's going to just be how she kind of conquers that when she gets there. So that's my pick. Let's roll. Let's see. Let's see what
Let's
happens
do
here.
this.
All right, let me zoom in a little bit more, just so we can see this better. All right, heroes hidden, immunity idols hidden, no alliances yet. Villain idol is hidden, no alliances yet. All right, so we're getting this first challenge, which is a battle dig, and the villains win some flint. I'm gonna get rid of this border just so we can see it a little clearer. They win some flint, and the villains win immunity. So heroes are going to tribal first. Is there anyone you think from the heroes that we might see go first? Let's see what's going on here, though. Kelly and Mike are bonding. Carson's impressing the team. Xander and Jake have a fight. The 0 vote finalists going at each other. And the first alliance here forms. We got Kelly and Emily and Jake from 45. So the 45s are coming together with Carson and Mike
Wow.
Turner. So Carson not working with the Tika 3. Do we think maybe the winners are in some danger here?
Uh, no.
Okay.
No, I do
Let's
not.
look at the villains. Shannon and Ricardo are already fighting. Jesse and Ricardo are bonding, and then Bruce and Carla are bonding. A little unusual there. All right. So we think who do we think's going home? Anyone?
I'm
Obviously
gonna
someone, but
say who's in that group of five? Who's in that five?
it was Kelly, Carson, Emily, Jake, and Mike. So the people who aren't in an alliance are Cassidy, Carolyn, Marianne, Xander, and Jam Jam. I think they might strike at one of the winners. I think Marianne or Jam Jam.
Yeah, okay. We might see something at one of the winners.
All right, so no idols played. Let's read the votes. First vote, Xander. Xander. Marianne.
And fuck.
Marianne.
And no,
Xander. Three votes, two
Xander.
votes. Xander. Xander. And Xander's the first person voted
Wow.
out from a vote of
A
8 to
sad
2.
go around.
8 to 2. He was the first person we put on the Heroes cast. Who voted to keep him? Him and Jam Jam. So Xander and Jam Jam supposedly on the outs here. Not looking good for Jam Jam. He's a winner, and he's the only person to be out of the vote here. So Xander falls. A little surprised, especially for challenges that they cut Xander early. Not looking good for the Heroes here. The Heroes Alliance is still strong. Mike Turner is in it more than the others. No alliances on the villains so far, though. Villains
Yeah.
win immunity, so the heroes are going back. Do we think it's the end of the road for Jam Jam already, or do you think he's got something up his sleeve?
I think he probably has something up his sleeve, at least a little bit.
All right, let's see.
All
Kelly
right.
and Emily are bonding. That's good. That's 45. Kelly, Mike, and Carson, who are in the other alliance, also pulled Cassidy into a separate alliance. So Kelly,
Nice.
Mike, and Carson are running the show. Maybe Carson has a new ticket.
With Carson has a little loyalty.
Yeah, okay, that's good. We
Isn't
knew this
that
would happen.
good?
That's Cody and Derek pre-gaming. It's what we saw on Big Brother. All right, here we go. I think it's Jam Jam's time, but we'll see. All right, Cassidy, one vote. Oh no, our winner
Wow.
pick, Jam Jam. Okay,
Oh,
7 votes
Jam
left.
Jam.
Cassidy, Jam Jam,
Jam Jam.
Jam
Jam
Jam,
Jam.
Jam
Jam
Jam.
Jam.
Cassidy, second person
Cassidy
voted out. Jam Jam.
is
So it
Jam
is
Jam.
Jam
Oh,
Jam. So
sad.
6
You
to
hate
3.
to see it. You
Hate
hate to see it.
But that's what happens on these Survivor returnee seasons. If you'll see, if you go back to old seasons, the winners get targeted early. I don't know why. Unless it's heroes versus villains. The first one, Sandra and Parvati made it to the end. But Carolyn voted with Jam Jam, and Marianne voted with Jam Jam. So this is not good for Marianne as the only other winner.
Not good for Carolyn either, really.
Yeah, but I mean, Carolyn, it makes sense that she voted with. She wouldn't vote Jam Jam out. Carson voting Jam Jam out is a little sus, though. But I think Marianne not willing to vote out Jam Jam shows that she was winner strong, and I don't think that's good for your winner pick. But my winner pick got some votes too, Cassidy. So I think Marianne, Cassidy, and Carolyn are all on the hot seat there. But I think Carson is sitting really pretty on that Heroes tribe. Mike has found the hidden immunity idol. Mike Turner, Zach's casting choice.
Good for him.
In with an idol. And he's got 2 alliances. So him, Kelly, and Carson are kind of running the show over there. The only person who's not in any alliances are Carolyn and Marianne. So we will see how this goes. All right. Omer finds the villains idol. All right. Omer and Mike. Have those idols.
Who would have thought?
42. 42 is killing it. And the heroes have finally won immunity. Okay. So
Both of
now with the
my both of
villains.
my casting, by the way. Both of my
Yes,
casting, by the way.
that's right. Cassidy, Marianne, Bond, Marianne, and Mike have a disagreement, and Carson leaves this side alliance. Okay, so Carson's part of the major alliance, but leaves the side. He's not
Maybe
feeling
he's
it.
flipping. Maybe he's
Maybe he's
flipping.
flipping. All right. So an alliance forms right before Tribal. Cody and Ellie have a disagreement, and I think that could be bad. But they Cody's not in this alliance here, though. The alliance here is Bruce, Ellie, Jesse, Carla, Omer, and Ricard. Odd that Jesse's leaving Cody out of this alliance, but it looks like there's a majority alliance going into Tribal of 6. Do we think Cody's in danger because he was in a disagreement with Ellie?
Yeah, I think we see Cody in a little bit of danger, but it's more a question of, can Jesse get people to flip and
Yeah.
choose somebody else, because they
Well,
are bonding.
And D is the only winner here, and she's not in any alliances. Do you think D is in some danger?
I think she could be.
All right, well, let's find out. Omer has the immunity idol, and he does not play it. No one stands to play the immunity idol. All right. First vote, D. She is in danger. Shan has a vote. Okay, D and Shan. Shan. Oh, is this a unanimous Shan vote?
Wow.
Wow, they just couldn't handle her. Okay, D.
And D.
4 votes left. Shan, and the third person voted out is Shan. So Shan gets 2 votes. Who voted with her? Sydney.
We
Okay,
got
so
Shan,
and Shan.
Sydney.
So Sydney seems to be on the outs of the villains. It looks like D and Sydney are on the outs, but Sydney did vote for D. So Cody was fine after all. But pretty stunned to see Shan out so early. I think the producers would kind of hate that, seeing their big villainess go out so early. But maybe they just wanted to split up Shan and Ricard. Ricard voted out Shan again here. What do you think about that, Zach?
I mean, some old habits die hard. You know what I mean? These are the things that happen.
Those are the 2 alliances, as we know. This is the alliance, as we know. Nothing has changed over there. And the heroes are winning reward, but the villains are winning immunity. So the heroes are back in the hot seat, and Jake has left the alliance. Jake's already
Jake
going
said,
rogue,
"I don't want to be here anymore."
Bruce and D are bonding. Okay, and Omer has left. And D works at camp but becomes tired. All right, so D is not necessarily a workhorse. Maybe it's her feet are giving out on her. But here we go. Do we think Mike plays the idol here?
No.
He does not.
No,
All right, here we go. First vote, oh no, Carolyn. Second vote,
Wow.
Carolyn. Marianne.
Marianne.
Oh, no, we're losing one of our dear, our darlings here. Carolyn. Oh no.
Oh,
Carolyn.
oh, man.
Marianne. 2 votes left, and the 4th person voted out Carolyn. Oh,
you hate to
God.
see it. They said she's
season,
too. We know how she plays. We know we can't let her just scoot by anymore. And you know what? They're right.
Man. Who voted with Carolyn? Jake voted with Carolyn. So Jake is now putting
Jake left the alliance. Jake left the alliance, and they said, "All right, well, good luck."
It looks like everyone's going after the 0 vote finalists because Jake is on the outs, Carolyn and Xander are gone, and the winners, Jam is gone, and Marianne's on the outs. So it's everyone who's not a 0 vote finalist or not a winner. So it's Carson, Cassidy, Emily, Kelly,
they've been
and Mike.
in Final Tribal before. We don't want them to get there again.
Yes, unless it's Cassidy and Mike, who got 1 vote, so they're okay.
Of course.
All right. It looks like the villains are dominating the season so far, but let's see what'll happen here. Everything's looking the same. Heroes are winning reward.
Wow.
They'll be able to pull out immunity. Yes, they are.
And
they win
immunity.
Okay. So the villains are going back. Jake has a major meltdown. It was a little early for that, but I mean, we knew it was coming at some point. And Cassidy has left her alliance. So Cassidy's gone rogue, but Jake and Carson form in the final 2. Carson's with everyone. Carson is playing a very big game.
Just like we knew he would go swinging for the fences.
There you go. Omer has the villain's idol. Ellie and Ricard are bonding. Carla and Cody have a fight. Do we think Cody's toast? Because Cody's not in any alliances. He's now had a fight with Ellie and a fight with Carla. Maybe Cody is a villain. Maybe you were right.
I think the only thing that saves Cody is Jesse at this point. But even Jesse might not be powerful enough to stop what's coming.
All right.
Let's see.
Omer does not play it. All right, here we go. First vote, D. All right, maybe they're just going after the winners. Cody, we knew he was in
Cody.
D. Cody. 4 votes left. Cody. 3 votes left.
We're tied.
Cody. Now Cody has 4. 2 votes left.
Blindside.
Cody is out.
Wow.
6-3. And did Jesse vote him out? Let's see. Does he do it again? Cody voted D.
Yeah.
Omer and Sydney. Wow, Jesse.
I said
and
it
Carla
before.
both got rid of Cody.
Old habits die hard.
Yeah, so Cody is out of this game. Maybe they just thought he was too heroic for the villains tribe, or maybe they just saw him as a liability. All right, here we go. We're still in the pre-merge here. No swaps this season because we're sticking true to the old heroes versus villains. It's heroes versus villains to the merge. Okay, so both tribes are going to tribal. Kelly has won immunity for the heroes, and Jesse, your winner pick, has won the immunity for the villains. So here we go. Heroes one
Heroes
reward.
win
So
a reward.
they will go first, and then they will watch the other tribal council while eating hot dogs and soft drinks. This was the famous tribal council where Tyson accidentally voted himself off of himself because he accidentally went for the wrong vote split. So yeah, that's a fun moment. So the heroes, Jake has another meltdown, but he's bonding with Mike. Now Mike has the idol. Do you think that's good for Jake, or do you think Jake is toast?
It just feels a little early to play this idol, man.
Yeah,
Feels
I
a little
agree.
early.
And then Jesse and Ricardo are bonding. So here's the tribal council for the heroes. They're going to go to tribal, and then they're going to watch the other tribes. So we got to vote someone out first. Kelly has immunity. Mike has the idol, and he does not
No one
play it.
stands.
All right. So I think we're looking at Marianne or Jake here. Marianne. Cassidy. Uh-oh. Marianne. Oh, they're just going safe for the winner. 4 that's left. So it
Wow.
was a unanimous Marianne vote. So it turns out Jake was okay. I think they thought double tribal. Let's just get
Good for
out the other
Jake.
winner. Do you think this means D is in trouble? Because the villains are going to see all the heroes sitting there. They're going to see that all the winners are gone except for D. I think D's in a lot of trouble here.
I think D squeaks by. I think she
Okay.
squeaks by.
Do we think it's Sydney then? Because Sydney's been kind of on the outs.
I think it's either Sydney or maybe Carla. I don't know.
Maybe
Something
Carla.
tells me.
We'll see. All right, let's see. No one's playing the idol. Jesse's safe. Here we go. Omer. Uh-oh. Omer has the idol. Oh, shit.
Oh, no. Don't send him
Sydney.
out.
Okay.
Oh, Sydney.
Omer.
Omer.
Oh. Is Omer going to get voted out with an idol in his pocket? 4 votes left. Sydney.
Okay. You're
Sydney,
right.
she's going. Sydney. Okay, so 5-2. A little scary though. Sydney probably picked up that Omer might have had an idol. D was the only other person to vote Omer. So now D is by herself on her tribe.
Yeah, she's done for,
as
man.
a winner.
She's
So
done
D
for.
needs to now hope that they win out and that she could link up with Emily, Jake, and Kelly, her people from 45, because she doesn't have anyone else from 45 on her tribe. Drew wasn't on this cast. Austin wasn't on this cast. She's riding solo here. Here we go. All right, so those alliances are still the same over there. Villains alliances, not a lot of shifting of alliances, just some people leaving alliances. Heroes are winning reward. They go to a waterfall.
Lots of
villains
reward
win.
for the heroes.
Villains win. So it doesn't matter with that reward. The heroes are going to vote someone else, but that's good for D. D is squeaking by another week. Carson and Kelly are bonding. Let's go to the villains. Oh, Jesse and Omer have a fight.
A major fight.
Omer's not happy he's got votes.
He's got to play the idol the next tribal he's at.
All right, so no one plays the idol. We think it's
probably
probably
Jake.
Jake.
I think it's Jake or
I think
Cassidy.
So. Cassidy.
Yeah.
Cassidy votes everywhere. Jake, there's 3 votes left. Cassidy. Cassidy.
Wow.
Pre-merge queen. 5-1. So she was a unanimous vote. I think they're just tired of losing, and I honestly think between Cassidy and Carson, I think they needed Jake in challenges. And I think Emily's good in challenges, Kelly's good in challenges, Mike's good in challenges. I really think it came down to challenge strength, and they're not voting out Carson. So I think Cassidy
they need him.
Had to go, which is sad. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think this is where the jury starts. So the jury starts before the merge here on Heroes vs. Villains. So the first juror will be crowned tonight, which is exciting. So the Heroes alliances are the same.
Right.
Villains alliances. Omer and Mike have held on to these idols. Heroes win reward. They win pizza, garlic bread, brownies, and drinks.
They are rolling in rewards.
Do you think they're going to pull out immunity, Zach?
Yeah, I'm going to go with yes. I'm going to go with they get it. Look at that. Look at that.
All right.
Look at that.
So the first juror will be a villain. Emily is impressing the rest of the tribe. This feels kind of
may
familiar.
Not be good, though.
May not be good, which is exactly what happened last season. She started impressing the tribe, and they voted her out because she was too good.
Yeah.
All right, Bruce and D are fighting now, and Ellie has left the alliance right before tribal. Someone leaves this power alliance. Ricard's been kind of quiet ever since Shan went home. Ricard and Bruce are kind of slipping through.
It's called you gotta go under the radar, Dylan. It's so very important.
Who do we think is the target? D is the obvious target, but it seems like Ellie leaving the alliance makes me a little nervous. Plus, Omer has this idol, and Omer's not in the power alliance. Do you think Omer could team up with D?
I think Omer probably plays his idol tonight. I think they try to flush something.
Let's see. No one stands.
Omer,
Here
man.
we go. D.
There's
vote. Is
D.
this going to be D? Omer.
D.
Yeah, so a unanimous vote for D. D is headed as a first member of the jury, so she made the jury, but still no winners making the merge. All the winners have been voted out, as we assume from an all-star season. Do you think that makes Jesse the biggest target now that he is pretty much the best of the remaining players?
I mean, listen, it depends on how much they know about his season, because the thing is, winners are very obviously known for who they are, right? They want their
the
They want
reputations. Yeah.
they want they won their win for a reason. Does Jesse have the same reputation?
I don't know. I feel like people see him as a ruthless player, but he's well insulated. I think Bruce making it this far is funny. He's already playing better than the last time just because he's survived some votes. And Bruce, as we saw in this season, the first time he was vulnerable to go home, he went home with an idol in his pocket. So it's good to see him continue along, get a little redemption here. I feel like Bruce is kind of getting a heroic redemption on this season, and the heroes are winning again. So the heroes are going to go in the merge with a 5-5 tie instead of a disadvantage. We're going to see 5 heroes and 5 villains at the merge. Who is going to be the last villain to join D in the jury before the merge? Let's find out. Here we go. Who do we think it is? Omer? He didn't play his idol.
Yeah. I think that's the
Omer?
easy. Don't go
Ellie.
out. Ellie.
Omer.
Not again.
Ellie. All right, 2 votes left. Omer. Is it going to be a
Omer.
tie, or is Omer going home with an idol in his
I think
pocket?
it's a tie. Oh my god, it's a tie. We're
Okay.
revoting.
We have a revote.
Revoting.
Do you think Omer was stupid for not playing his idol, or do you think this is a master plan by Omer? He knew this was going to happen.
I think it's a stupid move. I think he goes home here.
You think one rocks? Let's see. Omer. So remember, there's only going to be 4 votes here.
Oh my god, can we go to rocks?
Ellie. Oh, they flipped on Ellie.
They flipped on.
Just missed the merge by 1 episode yet again.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man.
Who flipped? Oh, Ricard voted Omer twice. Carla flipped on Ellie. So it looks like Ellie.
Twice.
So Omer has Jesse and Bruce. This is interesting. Carla and Jesse not voting together is very interesting. So that's how the votes broke down there on the bottom. That's very, very interesting. So
and here we are merged.
And here we are merged 5-5. Let's look at this merge tribe though, the yin yang. So let's look at 41. Just has Ricard right now because Sydney is gone. 42 has Mike Turner, and I believe that is it. Oh, and Omer. Mike and Omer. So that's
42 is Mike and Omer.
Mike and Omer reunion. 43 we have 2 people. We have Jesse and Carla still, but they've been playing together since the start. 44 is Carson and Bruce, who were on Tika together. This is the first time they've been on a tribe since Bruce got medevaced. And in 45, you have Kelly, Emily, and Jake reuniting with Bruce. So Bruce has Carson, Emily, Jake, and Kelly. Do you think Bruce might flip to the heroes?
I don't know.
That's what I would do if I were him. I don't know.
That's what I would do. I mean, you got to.
I think we're going to see some idols. I think we're going to see some idols play tonight, though, because heroes and villains each have an idol,
and they're going to expire soon.
Yep. So all the alliances are the same. There's no cross idols yet. And Emily Flippin has won the Get a Grip competition where you have to hang on to the pole. That is awesome. All right, Emily. You're cruising into the next round. Jesse and Carla have a minor disagreement. Now, they voted incorrectly. They didn't vote together on the last vote. Are we seeing maybe Jesse and Carla flipping on each other? Mike has a major meltdown. Do you think it's because he has the idol and he doesn't know what to do?
I think Mike is just tired.
Yeah,
I think he's just tired.
All right, here we go. Do we think an idol's getting played?
Yeah, I think we see it played tonight.
And who? I think
we see at least one. I think Omer has to play it.
I think Omer has to play it. If he doesn't play it, he's going home. But Omer could flip to the heroes. I think Jesse and Carla are in a lot of danger. I think people are viewing them as a duo, and I think they're going to take a shot at one of them. We'll find out. All right, here we go. Emily has the immunity necklace. No one stands to play an idol. Either someone's flipping or we're going to rocks. First vote, Carson.
No, we can't have it happen.
Jesse. Okay, the battle of the fire-making loser kings here. The 4th place kings here. Jesse, Carson. Jesse, Carson, 2 votes left. Jesse, and did we see a flip or is it a tie? It's a tie. 5 votes Carson, 5 votes Jesse. I'm assuming it was 5 heroes versus 5 villains, so no flipping. We're revoting. Jesse,
are we getting
Carson,
a flip?
Jesse, Carson,
are
Jesse.
we going to rocks? Are we going to rocks?
1 vote left. Someone flipped on Jesse.
Wow.
Jesse has been voted out of this game. Who flipped?
I'm sad.
Wait.
I'm so sad.
Okay, here we go. Wait a sec. So Emily voted Carson and flipped back to Jesse. Jake voted Jesse. So wait, who voted who? So the villains, let's look at who the villains voted for. Bruce voted for Carson. Jesse voted for Carson. Carla voted for Carson. Omer voted for Jesse. Okay, so let me recap this for you. Omer flipped on the villains, but Emily flipped on the heroes. And then Emily flipped back. So Emily and Omer both flipped.
Chaos.
She caused chaos, but the villains are now in the minority, and it looks like Omer is with the heroes. So it looks like the villains now, it's Bruce, Carla, and Ricard on the outs. We could see a pagonging where the heroes are just going to take out the rest of the villains. This would be going to be very interesting. All right. Wow. Emily flipped and then flipped back. Do you think Carson's going to target Emily now? Because Kelly
Yeah,
wins
I think
immunity.
so. I think we either see Carson target Emily or them go right after Omer.
All right, let's see. Well, Omer flipped to the heroes, so I think the heroes are saved with Omer. I think if anything, it's going to be either Ricard, Bruce, or Carla because they're the three villains on the outs. Let's see. No one's playing an idol. Here we go. Emily. Oh shit, they're mad that she flipped. Emily, Carla, 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 Emily, Carla,
Again?
Emily. 4 votes, 1 vote left. Who do you think it is?
Carla.
It is Emily. Oh, wow. Emily flipped and got caught. So Carson didn't vote her out, though. Bruce voted for Emily. Carla voted for Emily. And Kelly and Mike flipped on Emily. And Omer stick with Carla. So here we go. Omer's working with the heroes, it looks like. But Mike and Kelly just voted with the villains to vote out Emily. So Kelly blindsiding her own friend from 45. So here's where it stands. It looks like Jake and Carson have fully pulled Omer over. And it looks like Ricard, Carla, and Bruce are tight. And it looks like Mike and Kelly are in the middle. Now, the question is, do Omer, Jake, and Carson forgive Kelly and Mike for flipping on Emily? Or do they let them go and be the swing votes? What do you think?
I think they let them be the swing votes. I think they're going to go kind of like under the radar, and that's going to be
Kelly and Mike are, or they're going to be the
yeah.
targets, and Jake. Yeah, I agree. I think Omer's great though, because Omer's working with the heroes. I think Omer's in a he went from the bottom of the villains to the top of the heroes now. I think Omer's playing a great game. I think Omer's going to win at this point, but we'll see. All right, Kelly, an immunity queen. Is this 3 in a row, or is this is 3 total? 3 total. Emily won the first one, but she's won the last 2. Here we go. Still 2 idols in play. Ricard is completely worn out, but is not giving up. All right, here we go. Let's see if
man.
if they're just going to pick off the villains one by one. Oh, Mike is playing his idol. All right,
on himself.
Does not
Does
count.
he know? Oh,
Mike does not count. Mike does not count. Mike does. That's the majority. Mike does not count. Bruce.
Get him out of here.
Bruce and Carla. So it's 2 votes. Oh god, we're going to a tie vote.
Oh my god, we're going to a tie.
Wait, so the heroes split their votes between Carla and Bruce and then everyone else voted for Mike? The villains, I don't know how this worked. We'll have to look at it later. Okay, first vote Bruce, second vote Bruce, Carla, Bruce. So Bruce is going home 4-2.
Wow.
Bruce in a weird
over
vote.
Carla, a better turnout if I'm
let's
honest.
Just see
a better turnout.
Let's see what happens. So I'm just gonna pull this up. So Bruce voted for Mike, Carla voted for. So it was the villains. So it was all the villains voted for Mike, and then all the heroes split on Carla and Bruce. But then Omer and Ricard flipped on Bruce. That's what happened. Okay, interesting, very interesting. Poor Bruce. I felt for him. All right, here we go. Heroes have majority. Should be very interesting. Omer still has his idol. He's been hanging on to it. Carson wins immunity. Oh, Carson finds the yin yang. Okay, so the idol has been played. So Carson has found a new idol. Carson has an idol. Omer has an idol. Carson's looking great. Carson's hasn't had heat this whole game. Carla has a major meltdown. Omer's completely worn out. It's getting the best of them. All right. Do we think either of the idols are getting played tonight?
Carson. Yeah, I think Omer's got to play it. I think he's got to play it.
He does. All right. Omer does not count.
On himself.
Omer does not count.
Does not count.
Omer does not count. Does not count. Mike. Wow. Mike idled out at a 4-3 vote. And it looks like
they said, "Fine, use your idol."
Yeah, the heroes all voted Omer, and the villains all voted Mike. Mike played an idol and got so Omer and Mike, the 242 guys, went after one another, and Omer came out on top. Mike Turner out of the game. This is your final 6. Take a look at them. 3 heroes,
final
3
6
villains.
already.
Yeah, I'm trying to make this speedy, man. All right, here we go. It's much easier than Big Brother because Big Brother you have to go through veto and HOH and all these things. Survivor's pretty easy. Jake wins reward, which is the loved one's visit, and shares it with Carson and Carla. So he's sharing it with a hero and a villain. Very interesting. Do you think Kelly is going to be pissed because she's the only hero who doesn't get to go on this reward? Or do you think
Kelly's won a lot of Kelly's won a lot of immunities, so I feel like she doesn't have too much to be upset about.
All right, so Carla has won immunity. So the question is, do they go after Kelly as the strongest person? Does Carson play an idol to make sure a villain goes home? How do you think this goes down? Do you think it's just going to be 3-3 and then Carson plays an idol, or do you think someone's gonna flip?
I think someone's gonna flip.
All right, I'd say Omer's the most likely to flip, but because he got votes, I don't know. Maybe Ricard would flip. We'll see. All right, Carson is playing the idol against himself. So Carson is hoping he got the votes, and he did. He got 1, he got
Wow.
2, he got 3. Omer, Omer, wow. So it was a
Back to
3-3 split.
back. We
Damn,
got back to back.
42
What's it
idled
called?
out.
Back to
Yeah.
back idols. Back to back to back idols.
Yeah, so here's what it looks like. So there was no flipping. The heroes voted Omer, the villains voted Carson, but Carson plays the idol. So Omer is out. The robbed king. This is your finale here. 3 heroes, 2 villains. We
All
got
right.
41, we got 43, 44, and 45. No 42 anymore because Omer's out. That would have been cool if we had
All right.
41.
So let's decide how this goes. I think unless Carson wins,
And I'm telling you right now, there's no fire making because we're simulating heroes versus villains, which is season 20. So it's just a strict vote at 4, if that helps.
so I think if Carson does not win this immunity, he goes at 5. If Carson
Okay, you
wins
think
it,
someone's
if
flipping now.
Carson
Okay.
yeah, I think if Carson goes at 5, then we probably see Carla go exactly where she did. Or sorry, Carla was originally at 5 as well. So I think
Mhm.
we see Carson go at 5, another like straight split, straight vote. Carla goes at 4. We see Ricard, Kelly, and Jake final 3. I think it's going to be Ricard third, Jake second, Kelly first.
Yeah, I mean, look, these are our 2 winner picks from I think I don't think you had Carla as your winner pick for 43. But Kelly and Jake were our winner picks for 45.
Oh my god,
I
that's
picked,
right.
and I think your winner pick for 44 might have been Carson. I can't
No, no, no,
remember.
no, no.
No,
My winner. I forget who my winner pick was. It
was
wasn't
it? Oh, it
Carson
was
though.
Danny. It was Danny Massa. That's right.
It was Danny.
All right. So the heroes and villains are together, but Carson is with Jake and Kelly. So we'll see if that final 5 boot is going to be true. Kelly, the immunity queen, I believe she just broke the women's record for immunity wins. We'll have to look at the end.
Damn.
Immunity
Oh,
record for women
damn.
is 4, so she's definitely tied it. I think she just broke it though. All right, let's see. Carson and Ricard are fighting. Kelly and Ricard are bonding, and Jake joins the villains. Oh no!
Oh,
Oh, you're right. He's gonna flip on Carson. You called
he's
it.
gonna flip on Carson. He's
All
gonna flip on
right.
Carson. Carl,
Carla, 3 votes left. So that's got to be Kelly and Carson's
Carson,
votes. Carson,
Carson,
Carson. All right, this is Jake's
Carson,
vote here. Who do you think he went with?
Carson.
Oh, Carla. He couldn't do it. He didn't do it. He didn't do it. So the
Out at
heroes
5 again. Out
out
at
of 5
5
again,
again.
which means Ricard is the sole villain left. This kind of feels like Ricard's first season, where he's the sole person against 4 other people. This time he's against
Oh
3
my
other
god! And this
people.
is where he went out last time too.
He went out of 5, but he
Oh, he
because
went out.
Heather went out of
We
4.
had 2 people at 5. That's right.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Jake is looking to be in the final 3 again. He's the only person here who's been to the final 3. Carson is looking to get past 4 for the first time. Kelly has made it as far as she's ever made it. That's an amazing accomplishment. She's been beasting out in challenges, but has she been enough of a strategist and a game player? We'll see. Ricard, though, has to win this or he's out, I think, right?
I agree. I think he's out if he's not.
Because
If he's
he
not
has all
gone.
the
3
villains on the
heroes at the
jury.
end.
Yeah, he's got the villains on the jury. So if he's sitting against any of the heroes, he's winning. So they need to get him out.
Jake's
And
going
Jake
to
wins.
final 3, no matter what, baby.
Do you think they vote out Kelly because of the comps? Do you think they vote out Carson because he's a threat? Or do you think they vote out Ricard because he's got the jury votes?
I think they vote out Ricard here, and they go 3 heroes.
All right.
Yeah,
Ricard
man.
is getting a vote. Kelly. Ricard, we're going to tie.
We're going to
Tie.
fight. We're going to tie.
They're revoting. Okay.
Okay, let's see what
Ricard,
happens.
Kelly. All right, we're going to fire. And the loser's eliminated. Ricard has lost fire. Oh. So Ricard got that second chance to compete in fire. Who gave him that chance? Jake. Jake voted with Ricard. Jake said, I don't want to sit next to Kelly in the end, man. She's going to beat me. And Carson, though, didn't get any votes here. Snuck on through. Do we think Carson's the winner of the season? Or do we think because Kelly had that fire-making challenge? Look at Kelly. She's won so many challenges. She just beat Ricard in fire to send him to the jury. There's 3 heroes left. She went from 10th place to final 3. My vote would be for Kelly if I'm looking at this game, though Jake and Carson have both played pretty well too. Carson's played pretty spotless, and then Jake has just been very good at knowing when to flip. But
I think we see a Carson win. I think we see a Carson win. I think they were foolish to not take Carson out when they had the chance. And because of that, he was able to sneak by, and they're going to pay for it. I think
All
that's what's
right.
going to happen here.
Well, let's see. So let's just look at the votes here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 villains on the jury, and 2 heroes. Emily and Mike are the only heroes on the jury. So we'll have to see, because the heroes, I don't know how they're going to vote, but I'm interested to see where these villains vote. Okay, here we go. First vote Kelly, second vote Jake, third vote Jake, fourth vote Jake. That's 3 votes Jake. 4 votes Jake. 5 votes Jake. And Jake is the winner by a vote of 8 to 1
Yes!
to 0. Wow.
Wow,
Jake,
a 0 vote finalist for Carson. Wow,
wow.
Jake's gameplay. Listen, you gotta appreciate it. I mean, that's so funny.
First woman villainous out, still gets a fan favorite. Okay, let's break this down though really quick because I think Jake probably just people thought he played a much more like he was in more control this season than he was on his original season. I think if we're looking at season to season, Carson kind of dictated the gameplay with the Tika 3, but I think he played the same game again. He just kind of followed, made sure he was in the majority. And I think people might not have respected that for Carson. I think Kelly, her challenges were impressive, but I think Jake did more strategic maneuvering. And I think that's why he got the vote. That's pretty interesting. Um, that was a great season. Let's look though. I just
So
want to look at.
good.
I want to look. I mean, that early boot order sucks because you're losing. I mean, look at the first 6. Look at all the people you're losing early. I mean, that's like the worst case scenario for a Survivor to producer. You lose Jam Jam, Shan, Carolyn, Cody, and Marianne in a row. You know. But I think ultimately we ended with a pretty cool final 3. Let's look at challenge with Kelly. Okay, Kelly has is that oh no, here's
5
immunity
challenge
wins.
wins.
4 immunity wins. So she has tied the women's record for most immunities by a woman. Has not broken it though, because the highest for women is 4. So she has tied the winner's record for immunity. So that's great. Most strategic, Omer was the most strategic of the season. Ricard and Kelly. That's surprising. Idols found. Omer found idols. Omer looked to be the big strategist of the season. 14 votes against Omer. Look at this though. Jake, our winner, 1 vote against him all season. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty
Right.
impressive. Even Carson had
Damn.
13 votes against him. Jake had 1. And
1
Kelly,
vote. What a
I think
good winner.
what a good winner. 1 vote against him, 2 challenge wins, 1 immunity win, 1 reward. No idols found, but he didn't need them. That's a very great season, Zach. That was a lot of fun. So Jake
I
is
liked it.
our heroes versus
Good
villains
pick.
winner. It
Good
was
pick,
just fun to
Dylan. Your
see.
pick.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was technically your pick if we're
Thank you.
talking about in the grand scheme of things. But that was just a way to see if the new era was to play a heroes versus villains type style game. I mean, I would love to see Jake come back and redeem himself and win. It would have been cool to see what would have happened if someone like Caleb played or someone like maybe like a Josh or Drew from this past season. But hey, I think we had a great cast. It was a great. It was a heartbreaking pre-merge seeing Jam Jam, Carolyn, and Shan and Marianne go in the pre-merge, but I think ultimately led to a pretty fun final few rounds. Cool. That was fun. Any thoughts on that, Zach?
It was always fun.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I've said it before on the channel. I think we're headed into a point where we're going to need we're going to need a season of some new era returnees.
Yeah. Because the
I
further
think
they
once
let it
we,
go, the more we're gonna be like, oh, they should bring back
right.
this person. It's gonna be too late. Like we need to
I
get
think,
them back before it's too late, before people have forgotten about Xander and Shan and Ricard. You know?
I think we're probably going to see up until 49, and then 50. I think is going to be big. I think 50 probably either another All Stars, hero versus villain, something to that effect.
Mhm.
Uh, I, I, Dylan, of the people here, who is above anybody else? There were 20 of them. Who is the one person you need on that cast right now?
Carolyn. I think she's a
Carolyn,
person
100%.
that you would need on a returning cast, and if she didn't return, it would feel wrong. Even Emily, who I think is like a lock, she said she might not want to play this soon. Like I would be even more like confused if Carolyn wasn't on than someone like Emily. Because even like Jake, there are other people who've had a similar story to Jake, like Owen, like Xander, who I feel like if they were to bring back, I would get it. But no one has played like Carolyn. Even like
Yes.
Jam Jam and D kind of fit in a similar archetype. Like I really think Carolyn is her own person, her own unique person. I'd be shocked
Yes.
if they didn't bring her back. And I think Jesse is probably the next one, just because I feel like he is, by most people's standards, the best of the new era to never win.
Yeah.
And Gabler winning that season, I think, made it even more so obvious that
Yeah.
Jesse was like the best player that season. So I think Carolyn and Jesse are the two male and female locks if they were to do a returning season for sure.
I I think also, for me, my lock is Carson. I know that
Okay,
he got all the way there to the end. I think Carson is just such a phenomenal player. Truthfully, I think it's a tight race between him and Jam Jam if they're both sitting in there at the end because Carson is just so
right.
threatening
Well,
overall. I
the
think he might
question
be
would
the.
be, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think he gives him such a run for his money that I think it comes down to like a 5-4-1, and it's
If they were
really
both
just like
there, yeah.
yeah, I think it's like a big talk. I think or like a 5-5, and then Carolyn. I can't remember if the jury was 10 or not.
It
Uh,
was the same as it's been. I think it was a 8-1 or a 7-1 vote, and Heidi got the 1 and Carolyn got none. Yeah.
so then if it, I think it's a 4-4 vote, and then Carolyn decides, which I think would be so
That's what
cool.
you, I think, predicted when we were doing our predictions. Um, except I think you thought it was going to
You
be
know me,
between Carolyn and Carson, and Jam Jam would break the tie. But the only thing about Carson that I think like the producers, the reason they might not go for it is if they already have Jam Jam and Carolyn on the
right,
cast. I don't know if they would want the full Tika 3, but why not? Like see if they can do it again because I think that would be more
right,
impressive. I mean, that was the best thing about the original Heroes vs Villains. I know you haven't seen it, but like watching these older alliances play together again and seeing who survived and who didn't, like Amanda, Parvati, and Sari. Now that they're all in the same season together, one was a hero or two were heroes, one was villain. But how do they make it through the game? And the fact is, one got idled out early, and then the other had to turn on the other at the merge. So like. We don't see a lot of the time that these alliances stay true, which is also fun because, like, what would happen if you had Cody playing against Jesse or having Jam Jam playing against Carolyn? I think that'd be really fun. But I just realized all four Tikas were there because Bruce was also on our cast, so we had four Tikas on our cast. Isn't that crazy?
wow, Tika representation.
Representation. Do you
Uh,
think one question on that line? Do you think if Bruce doesn't get medevac, having seen what he did in 45, do you think Carolyn and him would have butt heads, or do you think they would have gotten along better with him than his 45 tribe did? Because
I think they would
Katora
have
and
butt
Bruce,
heads. I
you think
think
they
they
would
would
have?
have
Yeah,
butt
I
heads.
think so too. I think that would have been a great. I would have loved to see what happened if Bruce didn't leave 44, but we'll never know. All right, so that's our off-season podcast. As I said, I have a few videos coming out from now until this season starts in just a few weeks. Next week, at some point, we're going to try to find a time to record our cast assessment, and then we are going to also do another fantasy draft. This year it was a lot of fun, but I'm not sure yet if we're going to do it before the season or wait a few weeks like we did with the last time just to kind of get to know the cast a little bit better before we decide. I got to decide that, and it's also going to depend on time and availability. So, because I know we're both playing orgs right now, and I'm in a show right now, and you're in a show right now, and we're about to start other shows, so it's a
It's
lot.
true.
But thanks so much for watching, Zach. Where can they find you?
You can find me right here. You can also find me at Petty Love Productions, Petty Love Productions on all of our social media. It's a theater company that myself, my wife Rachel, and our friend Brian, we all started. Local non-for-profit community theater here in New Jersey. You also will see me soon with my first rendition of my God, I can't remember
What in the
what it
world?
was called. What in the world?
Yes.
I do promise it's coming. It's
Yeah.
just been a long month and a half.
Mhm.
So you know what? It's coming. I
It's
promise. The
coming.
Last of Us
Yeah.
first
And
episode.
and
Just
I'm
finished
I'm
up my second replay of Last of Us Part Two
Yeah,
remastered.
and I'm being honest, I will not be able to even edit that video until the 10th of March. So you're gonna
So
or
perfect.
so you have a little more time, and we both need the time. So you will be getting it in March though, and then the second one you'll be getting in April during the subathon. So that'll be fun. And then we'll see from there. All right. You can see me find me at Dylan_Randazzo Twitter. And Dill Pickle Movie Network here on YouTube. This is not going to be on podcast because it's so visual. But check out our podcast because it's great as well. And anything else? Happy Valentine's Day. If
Happy
you
happy late Valentine's Day.
yeah, happy Fantastic Four
Spring.
Day.
Oh my God, amazing! I can't wait to find out what you and Kelsey think about that cast.
I cannot wait too. Well, thank you guys so much and enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll see you very soon for some cast assessment for season 46.